Hey guys, welcome back to Unmedicated and Dysfunctional. I'm Kenz. This is Doki Doki Literature Club. The reason I'm playing this is because I went into Steam to try and find some quick little horror games to go ahead and play. And under free and horror, this popped up. And I'm reading the reviews and everyone is saying that it's highly disturbing and you even have to accept a button, click an accept button before the loading screen comes in saying that you are above the age of 13 and give consent to disturbing content, and that people with anxiety or severe depression should not play this game. So naturally my curiosity piqued because I just really don't see how this could get incredibly disturbing. So we're gonna go ahead and play, check it out. It's only about a 4-hour long game, which means we could get this done in about 8 videos. So hopefully we will run through the whole thing and just have a good time. Ooh, name! What's my name? Kenzosaurus Rex. Kenzosaurus. We'll do that one. Kenzosaurus. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from a distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to the attention she might draw from herself. Hey! That girl's Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, like starting around high school. She would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. What? Oh, she slept in, and I got tired of waiting for her. Okay, I get it now. English. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle and in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Ha! I overslept again! But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. Ugh, you say it like you were thinking about ignoring me. She's so cute. How could this be horrifying? I really don't see this going bad. But then again, that's kind of how Attack on Titan is too, if you've ever watched that anime. That's mean, Kenzosaurus! They do get very hopeful and then all of a sudden just things go wrong. So maybe they're gonna Attack on Titan me. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or anything. Am I a boy? Fine. Is this a romance game? But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to the school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students, making their daily commute. By the way, Kenzosaurus, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on average while spending my free time on games and anime. Sounds about right. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET. What is that? What is a NEET? What is an NEET? What is that? What is that? In a few years, because you're not used to being out in the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with an anime club. Hello? Sayori? So you must have come into the class while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori! Yeah! There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie! Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she'd had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please! Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep! I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning and so planned all of this. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! Pow! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Again, sounds about right. This character is so spot on. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member! I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Okay, so I am a boy. This makes a lot more sense why every character in this is a girl. Yes, I can't hit on any men. I mean, I could, but I don't think I'm gonna find any male characters in this game. Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Kenzasaurus, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls! What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki? The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody, Sayori says that quietly into my ear. Oh, I yelled that a little bit too loud. Then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. And don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet the both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, right? Oh, Monica? Monica? Monica! That's right. It's great to see you again, Kenzasaurus. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other well, and we rarely talked. Oh, we do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica... I don't know how to say her name. I feel very conflicted. I don't know if I want to call her Monica or Monica. Was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come, sit down, Kenzasaurus. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then you know about, then how about that? Not that. Then how about I make some tea as well? Girls have a few desks arranged from the table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Wow! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray and reveals a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate are used to make the ears. So cute! I had no idea you're so good at baking, Natsuki. Ha! Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica, I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Oh, that's so embarrassing. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Like, so good. It's so good, guys. It's so good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard that somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe. But not, you know, you dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Oh, that was me talking. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted Yuri looks away. I mean that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me she shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member of any of the major clubs. Weren't you leader of the debate club last year? Oh, well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing and budget and publicity and how to prepare events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all grow this club before we graduate. Ding! Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Kenzosaurus, what kinds of things do you like to read? Considering how little I've read in the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but keeps quiet. And not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. This is starting to sound a little bit too erotic for me. With rim tracing and fingers. I don't know. I don't know. I think out of all the girls, though, if I was into girls, I'd probably go for Yuri because I do like darker hair and I like intelligence. So I think that would probably be like my go-to if I was into women, but I'm not. Which is, I mean, if you're into women, that's totally fine. I'm just not my cup of tea. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious, by the way her eyes light up, that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Well, I guess yeah. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something so I could relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over for me for a second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give it back! Give it that bag. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. So he slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Oh, not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest of reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example that helps Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now we have a new member. I think it will help us all get a little bit more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Kenzosaurus? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join the club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Well, they look like they might kill me. But. I'm sorry, I thought. Kenzosaurus. I can't take them seriously when my name is Kenzosaurus. Kenzosaurus, no! You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right? Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes lighten up. They still look like they might murder me. Yes, I'm so happy! Sarah wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem, bring it to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Kenzosaurus, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Kenzosaurus! Since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for the clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Okay, this is an interesting start. I really don't see how this could get super dark. Unless their poems are about suicide and murder and things that they've done in their basement. I don't know. That's as dark as I can think about this going. I really don't see how this could be super decryptic or anything like that. With that, the two of us depart to our club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika, aka Monica. Depends on how you want to say her name. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? That's kind of an intense club that meets every single day. Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Okay, this is definitely a dating game. I think I've been duped into playing a dating game. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of I'll just need to make the most of spending every day with these girls that are hot, apparently. I don't know. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. This sure sounds awful to have to do this. I'm sure good fortune will find me, and I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Do I get to write my poem? Oh! It's time to write a poem. Pick your words that you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Ew! Oh gosh. I pick... Okay. Vertigo. Vertigo boop. Misfortune. In an unrestrained whistle with agonizing vitality. Hopeless. A hopeless bunny that's disoriented on vacation. Unstable contamination. This is a tragedy. Ah, wrong one. I want the purple hair one. Entropy. I'm just gonna... passion. Crimson. After image. Sadness. Why are they... Massacre. Yeah. Something about a bunny massacre. I think this has turned into Monty Python. Hi again, Kenzosaurus. I'm excited to see how our poem turned out. I don't think the bar should be set very high for us. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha 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 ha. No, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. While I'm back at the literature club, I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Kenzosaurus. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you don't even want to join clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Why is that embarrassing? Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica, and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Kenzasaurus always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is messy and it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? How come you and Kenzasaurus can become good friends too? Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Oh, don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means I have to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so I should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And you could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... how is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read it. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but she doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for the chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Are we gonna read our poems or what? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from her reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah! Poop! I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance up at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. I was focused and I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. Just curious how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious about here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. Glad to hear. Once again, to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front of the cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life... Oh, I clicked too fast. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story. So that dark turn came from nowhere. Ha 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 ha. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Kenzosaurus? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forget that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just, that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective when horrible things happen, not just because someone who wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you want to be related to the protagonist, they're made out to believe to be naive or the one letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. It's all good. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. I'm so sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. And the least I can do is listen. It's literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. Oh, what are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book I had put in my bag. Alright, that's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. It's, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything, alright? Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if you could feel her presence on my shoulders as I read. It's not a practically bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really don't need to apologize. I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. Oh, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit more, our shoulders are almost touching. Whoa! Shoulders are almost touching! Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess it makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm, and lifts the side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same with my right arm. It's on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips over to the other side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. I'm just gonna pretend Yuri is a boy. Because then I can get into it a little bit more, I think. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel... Or no, I'm gonna pretend I'm Yuri. I'm gonna pretend I'm Yuri. And that there's another boy. It's as if I can feel the warmth on Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Oh, sorry! I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep this up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks! We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue to read the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning the page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it down under her thumb. Hey Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Okay. I think we need to stop here. We're out of time, and if I don't stop now, I'm not gonna stop. So, yeah, I really don't see how this could go dark. So, we'll keep playing this game and see if something happens. I mean, it's not a very long game, so regardless, we'll finish it. But still, it's one of those things with how cutesy it is, and how, like, it's almost kind of like a dating simulator, like, the one that we're playing right now, Virgin Boy, but just geared in a different way, I think, for male audiences, and I really just don't see how this is gonna get very dark. But I'm hoping it does. I don't know. And I also want to read our poem that we wrote about evil bunnies and depression. So, yeah, here we are. Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!